Robbie Williams broke the hearts of millions of Take That fans when he shockingly announced he was quitting the hugely successful boy band in 1995. As Gary Barlow, Mark Owen, Howard Donald and Jason Orange were touring the world on their Nobody Else tour, Robbie decided to call it a day, and left Take That to launch his own solo career. While his bandmates were reeling from his jaw-dropping exit from the group, Robbie transformed his image, began hanging around with Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher, and released his debut solo single Freedom, which was a cover of George Michael's debut solo single back in 1990. Now, the 49-year-old is preparing for the release of his tell-all Netflix documentary, which he has vowed will help him settle scores as he celebrates the upcoming 25th anniversary of his solo career. Fans have suggested he will talk about his high-profile departure from the boy band, which eventually led to Take That splitting for good less than 1 year later. Read more. Robbie Williams' emotional fling with Jerry Horner, famous song to moment he saved her life. Speaking to Scott Mills for BBC Radio 2's Life Through a Lens series, named after his debut solo album, Robbie confessed the real reason he left the band was that he was in the middle of a nervous breakdown. The rock DJ hitmaker admitted he was overwhelmed while on the band's huge world tour, and felt like he was in some sort of burning building and needed to get out. "I think that I was in the middle of a nervous breakdown, my first of many. All the information going into the computer had made the computer overload. So it felt like I was in some sort of burning building and I needed to get out. That's how it felt at the time," he explained. Robbie then revealed that offered to leave the band once the Nobody Else tour had finished, but his bandmates weren't impressed. "And they actually went, 'Actually, if you're going to leave, can you go now?' he shared. His bitter rivalry with Gary Barlow was well publicized, and Robbie took aim at the singer-songwriter in a series of interviews during the first few months of his solo career. Speaking to Radio 2, he admitted he wanted conflict with Gary because he got some sort of kick from it. However, he refused to bite back at Robbie, which left him feeling deflated. Unfortunately, Gary didn't feel the same way and he didn't get a kick from it, because he was a well-rounded grown-up that didn't need that sort of inflammation in his life, Robbie quipped. Robbie rejoined Take That in 2010, and the five-piece released an album, and went on a hugely successful tour. He spoke highly of Gary, who he affectionately nicknamed Gaz, and said they would always be family. Talking about the feud with his former bandmate, Robbie said, "I did things that I'm not proud of and said things I'm not proud of as a reaction to things that I hope he's not that proud of either. That being said, taking the mickey out of Gary, he didn't deserve that." The remaining three members of Take That have also spoken about why they believe Robbie left back in 1995, and in an interview for their In Take That, 30 Years in the Making documentary on ITVX, they blamed a lack of communication for things falling apart between them. "To have someone close to you that you can speak to about your feelings, that's one of the things we never ever did in the 90s, hence why Robbie left. We never discussed what he was feeling before he left that room," Howard shared. "We look back at that moment and think we wished we could have talked more. I wonder if it could have saved him leaving." Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.